All right, this one here, I'm gonna break down what a gangster is so that everybody understand. You know what I mean? This one here is about what a gangster is. All right, so sit back, enjoy the ride, and let me do what I want to do, man. Let me sit back, man. I'm going to break down what a gangster is, man. I'm going to break down what a gangster is because I'm disappointed, but I understand because I'm getting a lot of new subscribers that's not used to my channel and not used to seeing how gangsters move. You know what I mean? And I say that with emphasis. I'm going to say it again. They're not used to how gangsters move. All right, now I did a joint yesterday, you know, with my big homie, you know, Big Red. You know, that's Big Red on the screen, so y'all understand. This is a gangster channel, man. You ain't gonna get more gangster than that. You see that elderly man on the screen? That man went to prison when he was 18 and came home when he was 66. That's approximately 40 years. 40 years in federal prison. That's a gangster. And he deserves a gunshot. You understand? So those of y'all that don't understand that he deserves a gunshot, you know what I mean? I apologize. Again, I apologize if you feel in any way I disrespected my brother or if I disrespected you by you feeling that you missed out on the message because of the gunshots. But I want y'all to sit back because I'm like a professor right now. I'm like a professor in the college auditorium teaching a class. That's what I am. And that's why I continuously hit the gunshots. When a point is made, you hit the gunshots. Let me explain to you what the gunshots mean. For those of y'all that don't understand what the gunshots mean. Now, I grew up in a time when you're happy and you're feeling the joy. You bust your gun, period. You understand that? So those of y'all that don't like the guns being busted, stay out the streets, period. Now I'm gonna break down a gunshot. I'm gonna break it down. My first case when I came home from state prison, October 27th, 1987. I'm gonna take my time and break this down because this is a gangster channel and I respect my gangsters that tune in to listen to a gangster talk that gangster talk. And we bust our gun. Now, I just came home, you know, at the Rooftop at a party. Big shout out to the Rooftop. Big shout out to the Rooftop. I'm at the Rooftop. You understand? My connect, he gave me one lousy key. That's kilo of cocaine. I finished that kilo. He called me at 1 o'clock in the morning and said he just parked in the garage on Bradhurst. Big shout out to the garage on Bradhurst. All right, calm down, calm down. Big shout out to the garage on Bradhurst. I just parked, you know what I mean? My car in front of the rooftop because I want my shine. My man just parked his, Mercedes a block up in the garage on Bradhurst. That's now the Boys and Girls Club. I'm going to air video today. I'm even going to give y'all a bonus because I apologize. Let me look in the camera so y'all understand. This is how gangsters do, man. We apologize if someone feel disrespected by what we said, if it wasn't meant to intend to disrespect. So I apologize with a gunshot. Now, let me tell you what a gunshot is. I just parked my joint. I'm going to talk this one real fast. I want to get through this, and I want to tell you all a Big Red story that he mentioned yesterday, because I told y'all I was going to introduce you to characters you never even dreamt existed, because we have these fake-ass trolls that look for flaws in a man's character. And this is the first gangster that I introduced, And how do you take it? You take it as I disrespected this man because I bust my gun in between, not while or doing, but in between the points that he made that deserved a gunshot. That's all that was. So I know y'all not used to that, but when you're in the hood, right? I'm gonna get excited. I'm gonna get up in the camera right now. I'm gonna get excited. When you're in the hood and you feel good, if we're at a party, and I know my old timers understand, so y'all put in the comments and support what I'm saying so these new, younger people and people that's elder that don't understand how gangsters move will understand how we move. And right now, I'm going to do something we call back in the day as I'm getting ready to spaz out. But it's no disrespect, because it's a gangster's channel, and I respect everyone's opinion. If you read the comments, I even apologized. And I'm apologizing now publicly to anyone that took the gunshots as a disrespect in any shape, form, or fashion. Now, my man calls me and tell me he gonna see me the next day, if I was ready. I said, man, I've been ready hours ago. I'm at the rooftop tossing it up. I'm here with Brucey B, Hollywood, Ron G, Double J, Kid Capri, Big Daddy Kane in the house, LL Cool J in the house. I got my MCM outfit on. I just paid $8,500 from Dapper Dan. That's how gangsters move. You know what I mean? So when he told me you don't see me the next day, I said, man, the money in the garage at the car, I'll meet you over there. You understand? So, I kept my pistol with me, So I got my 9mm on me right now. I got my 9mm on me. So I roll over to the garage to meet him and I leave the rooftop, by myself. Let's get that right, because gangsters move in silence, man. Gangsters and bad boys move in silence. Pay attention, because like I said, I'm disappointed, but I understand where you're coming from. All right, so I'm going to take my time. But I'm going to give it to you the way I want to give it to you, because it's my channel. And, I want y'all to know how a gangster move. An ex-gangster, former gangster, present gangster, whatever you want to put. Right now, President Donald Trump has been indicted, and he's getting ready to go to federal court, and they still label him the president. So I'm still labeled a gangster, because you can't take our spots from office like you can't take the spots off of Tiger. You understand? Now, I just, pulled up in the rooftop. My man called me, said he just parked the car. He gonna call me in the morning because he didn't know where I was at. I said, man, I'm a block away. I'm gonna get ready to come up there. So I shot up there, and I had all the money in the car. I had this little, I had his little, 10, 12 grand. That's all it was. He was charging me 10, 12 grand for a key. It was going for 17. So I made 5 off it selling it whole, but at the time it was only 1 key. So I gave it to somebody to break down. I gave it to them for 25. They made $50,000 on the street. Gunshots to taking 10, 12,000 and making 50,000. I got 25,000. You understand what I'm saying? So that gave me $13,000 profit approximately for those of you trolls that want to do the math. And the worker that I gave it to made $25,000, man. I gave out jobs, illegal jobs, poisonous jobs, and again, I apologize for that. Where I was at, I did what I had to do to make do with what I had to do. Now, I rolled up in the garage, I give him his little 12 grand, and when I get there, he said, damn, that was fast, because he just gave it to me earlier today. He thought he was going to see me in a couple of days. So he said, man, come here. He take me to the trunk, and he give me 5 keys. You know what I mean? I said, man, it's a good thing you brought that. I got a dude that want that right now. So I beat my man, and I tell him to meet me in front of the Colonial Projects, which is through the Polo Grounds Projects, but, without the projects, it'll be considered as 4 blocks, because that's 159th Street, and the garage is on 155th Street where the Polo Grounds begin. So I tell him, wait here. I take the little 5 keys, and I cut through the projects, and I bring it to my man, and I drops it off to him, and, he paid me the money. You understand what I'm saying? That, so y'all understand, like 60,000. I take the 60,000, I bring it right back to my man while he smoked a cigarette and talked to the garage attendant. So I just gave him his 12,000, his 60,000, $72,000 I gave this man. You understand? So now, after I give it to him, he leaves. He said, man, tomorrow I'm going to see you. I got 10. I said, bet. Because he had 5 keys he didn't sell. And I said, man, I'll knock that out. Get that to me. So he takes the 72,000, he leaves, My man walks up to the garage, and I say, yo, come on. I'm getting ready to go drop my profit off, off the 5 keys in the Bronx to one of my stash houses, Now, when he comes, we get in the cab. And we driving over to the Bronx, and I got my cash with me. You understand? Now, so y'all understand, I'm riding in this cab, and as soon as we get in the cab, I reach out the window and I take my 9mm and I bust my gun in the air under the bridge between 154th and 155th Street before I cross over the 8th Avenue to go by the Rooftop. The cab driver was driving a piss yellow LTD. So we shoot past the Rooftop. Mind you, I just, bust my gun. You know what I mean? I want y'all to understand what busting a gun is. So we shoot around past the Rooftop, make the right, make the left to go over the McCombs Dam Bridge, make the right, hit the Major Deacon, and we shooting down the highway. While we shooting down the highway, the cab driver is excited from us busting the gun. You understand? So we racing, and it's a fence, separating the highway from the shoulder lane. So as he's speeding, doing about 60, 70 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. We hype, the music is playing, we got our cash on us, and he riding. So he's trying to cut into the highway. So he's expecting the fence to open up so he can zoom in, and he's racing with a car on the highway. Picture the visual. So he's zooming. So as he's zooming down the highway looking for the fence to open, there's no opening. But we come to a ramp in the street that went up and then down. We going 70. So we go up and then down. For those of y'all from the Bronx, from Harlem, that know the streets of New York, over there by Major Deacon, by the Stadium Motel, it's a ramp. The ramp is still there. Every time I walk by that ramp, I remember this incident. He shoots up the ramp, and the joint went all the way up top. And then it dropped down. When it dropped down, it hit the ground, and sparks fled from underneath this LTD while we going 60 like we in the Dukes of Hazzard or Starsky and Hutch, man. And that's right in front of a police station. What luck do we have? You know? They was changing shifts to make it even worse. The police walk out to the car and they stop us because it was a stop sign. And that's why he jammed on the brakes and the whole car said, you know what I mean? So they walk over and they, you know, tell us, yo, we want to search the car, man. Y'all speeding. So he searched the cab driver. And the cab driver had $5,000. And it's a true story. Everything I tell you is true. Content would never run out because I'm a gangster. And I bring gangsters on my channel, like Big Red. And the gun is to be bust when a point is made. So either get used to it, no disrespect, I want you to stay. But if the gunshots is too much, feel free to leave. That's all I say, because I'm talking to my people that want to know what a gangster is. And we bust our gun when we feel good. We bust our gun when we feel threatened. We bust our gun when we in danger. Now, let me finish what I'm saying. Police searched the car. When they pulled the cab driver out, he had $5,000 in his crotch. So they searched him, they felt the $5,000. So now he panicked and he said, me and my man tried to rob him. Said we tried to rob him for the $5,000, you know? So now, because they normally back in the day, if y'all from back in the day, you know, the police can't search anything behind the divider in a gypsy cab. So they had no business searching us. But once he said he got robbed, that gave him probable cause. They come in the back, they search the back of the car, they take us out, didn't find nothing, they put us back in, you know? But before I got out the car, you know, don't forget we got the 9mm in the car, you know? Before I get out the car, you know, the gun is put on the floor. The gun is kicked under the seat. They don't find the gun, you know? So now they go back after they put us in and they search the car and they find the gun under the seat. When they find the gun under the seat, they reach their hand under the seat from the front seat, you know what I mean? And pull the gun out because they didn't see it in the back because it was kicked all the way to the front. So now they turn around and they said that, oh, we got a gun. So they take us and walk us into the police station like slaves going to the auction block. That's how my auction block began. So they walking me into the police station, and as they walking me into the police station with this 9mm, you know, they take me in the police station, and I got, you know, I got like 30,000 cash on me. Cab driver had a lousy 5,000, but he said we try to rob him. So when we get in there and they find the 30,000 on me, they knew that that robbery was some bull crap, so therefore they charged me with, you know, this gun. Now, when I get charged with the gun, they send me to the Bronx house of detention. Yeah, I was in the Bronx house too. Big shout out to the Bronx house. Big shout out to the Bronx house of detention. So they take me to the Bronx house of detention and give me a voucher for my little 30,000. So now I got to get somebody that got a job to claim that they, you know what I mean, you know, own that 30,000, which I did, got that back, you know, so. The moral of the story is, I was happy that I finished the work for my man, and we getting ready to get 10 keys in the morning. So I bust my gun out the window. That's what we do. So So Brother Big Red was on my program, and he said some jewels. I let y'all know I was going to bring him back. That's why, you know, I never even dropped, you know, that Alpo video. Because we got so many trolls and fake dudes that they want things and don't know what they want. And then they talk crap. I'm not into the crap talking. Because if you got an issue with me, or I have an issue with you, I come from the era where I tell you in your face, let me get close. I got an issue with you, nigga, and I'm trying to see you. Oh, you tell me, Unique, I got an issue with you. I'm trying to see you. And we handle that. We don't get on a keyboard and hide who we are and say things that we would never, I mean never, say in a man's face. I had to get used to that. Because I just came home from federal prison after 27 years where, you know, a man tell you in your face, like I told you about the case manager that was in the joint, his girls' school and everybody, I didn't like him, he didn't like me, and I told him in his face, man, I don't like you, your girls' school and everybody, you's a sucker, you's a, but I love a dog. Ass nigga. And I don't respect you. And he couldn't stand me for that. But I later found out after I left the prison a decade later, I ran into somebody that was at the prison, had that unit manager who was now an assistant warden, and he was telling them about me, how vocal I was, where I speak my mind. And he even told this inmate, because it wasn't a convict, he even told this inmate, you know, you not like that nigga Unique. And he's like, man, I know Unique, I'm from New York. He said, yeah, that's why I'm telling you about this dude. He told me in my face that my girl was screwing everybody and he didn't like me. Nobody talks to the administration like that. I mean, nobody talks to the administration like that, is what he's telling this inmate. Then I run into the inmate later on. I'm going to break down, because we told you yesterday what an inmate and convict is. The inmate, you know, does what he's supposed to do. A convict does what he want to do. So this was an inmate. This clown sided with him, and then when I ran into him a decade later, he laughing about it, telling me how this dude couldn't stand me. And, you know, I better not ever go back to that jail because the case manager is now AW. And I told him straight up, I said, if I go back to that jail, I would tell him in his face again, if he don't like it, I'll punch him in his face and deal with the consequences because I'm a gangster. And I don't bite my tongue. I bust my gun. That's what gangsters do. Period. So now, you know, to get to the point, you know, because I ride, man, I ride. Let me ride. You know what I mean? Big Red is a legend in the federal prison system. I bring a legend on here to introduce you to a man. I bust my gun in between the points that he made and the names that he dropped that deserved a 21 gun salute. Memorial Day that just passed, they honored the fallen soldiers. And every time they said a name, they bust their gun after each name. That's what gangsters do. The government is gangsters. Unique is a gangster. Big Red is a gangster. Anton White is a gangster. Homicide Lou Sims, Ferris, Peter Shue, Kevin Childs, ER, Bonaparte from DC, Larry Moe from DC. These are gangsters that all deserves a 21 gun salute. So as Red mentioned these names, I bust my gun. And again, for those of y'all that's new to the channel, that's not gangsters, that's not used to being around gangsters, I apologize. See, being a gangster is being able to apologize when someone feel disrespected by your gangsterism. So for those of y'all that felt disrespected, you understand? I apologize. Now, I said yesterday in the program that I was going to bring my brother back. I get people on this channel that don't do YouTube, but they respect my gangster. You've never seen Big Red before. I know you wanted to hear what he said, and I know you heard what he said because I bust my gun in between what he said. The same as I'm busting it frequently now. Just shut up and sit back and enjoy the ride. Or politely, with all due respect, just go to another channel. If the gangsterism is too gangster for you, please, I'm respectfully asking you as a gangster to just go to another channel and let me finish my gangster program with my gangsters. I'm gonna bring a brother up here. I might not even do it, man, because like I said, I'm so disappointed in people complaining about the respect that I gave Red by busting my gun, for them to even think that it was a disrespect for me to bust my gun. But I was intending to bring a brother up here named Supreme. Not from the Supreme team. And I'm gonna have Supreme McGruff call in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have Supreme McGruff call in also. You know what I mean? Because I got access to all the gangsters, man. You know, I'm gonna have. Let me tell you what I got planned for. What I had planned. I might just scrap all that and just finish the prison stories because y'all not ready to see how gangsters interact. You know, I'm gonna have Supreme McGruff call in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have, you know, Prince call in. I'm gonna have Boy George call in. You know what I mean? I already had my man Jimmy Fingers call in. You know, I'm gonna have my man Ahmed from the E-Port Posse in Newark. Big shout out to Newark. All right, calm down. I'm gonna have Ahmed from E-Port Posse call in. You know, I got access to all the gangsters, man. But y'all gotta sit back and let gangsters do what they do. Because no disrespect, because this might sound as a disrespect, but it's not. Because like I said, this is a gangster channel, so I respect everyone. You know, let me see how to put this. I gotta put this right because I don't want y'all to take it as disrespect. You know how when you was growing up, your grandmother, you know, because a lot of y'all is young, so, you know, this got passed the next generation. But you know how your grandmother would tell you that a child is supposed to be seen and not heard. And when grown folks is talking, just sit back and listen. That's what's going on here. When grown folks is talking, sit back and listen. No disrespect to nobody. Don't take that the wrong way. I put my number, it's right there on the screen, 917-680-9091. I answer my phone call. Big shout out to Daphne in Atlanta. I got a female that's blind in Atlanta that called me, and she calls me 3 times a day. I don't know this female. She watched the channel. She liked the gangster, and she reached out, and I talked to everyone that called. Big shout out to Brandon from Chicago that lost his brother. I brought him up here. You know, his brother was trying to kill him before he died, and his brother went out and got killed. I met him because I answer my calls. I say that to say, if anybody had a problem with me busting my gun, all you had to do was just call that number on the screen. I answer, and you can say you bust your gun too much. I couldn't hear what Big Red was saying. And I would have did the same thing I'm doing now. I would have said my bad. I refrained from that. And then I'll explain why. You know, and then it's up to you if you felt that I should continue to refrain from it or not. Then it's up to me as a 5-star general if I will or will not refrain. But I do give you a voice on this channel. I'm going to do a show where you're going to be able to call in. They're going to number on the screen. Like I said, call that number. Anybody right now, call my bluff. Call that number right now. And don't forget, I got my Cash App. I speak on the Cash App because the game is to be sold, not told. Make sure if you go to Cash App, you go in it to see when the account was created. My account was created in 2020. My account was created in 2020. Don't send no money to Waynesworth Hall, $ Unique Mecca Hall. That was created in 2023. That's the duplicate account that Cash App can't even catch because the troll is more gangster than Cash App. Big shout out to the troll. All right. So check. So my Cash App work, make sure it says that it was created in 2020 when you go to $ Unique Mecca Hall, do the research and go in one step further, see when the account was created. The one from 2020 is mine. If he could switch the date that it was created to that, that means that it was Cash App. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I brought Big Red up here. I'm going to bring Big Red back. You know what I mean? If I feel like it. Because this is my channel. If I feel like it. I feel y'all deserve to hear Big Red. I feel y'all need to hear from Big Red. I did it with just his picture yesterday, and then I'm going to let you see the man in action. I got Antoine White from Washington, D.C. that you heard Big Red even give. Listen, Antoine White is younger than me. I'm younger than Big Red. And Big Red gave Antoine White his props as the big homie. Your age don't make you a big homie. It's your wisdom. It's the code and conduct that you follow and how you implement it in your daily life that make you a big homie. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell y'all about, you know, the escape that Big Red did that he mentioned yesterday. I'm going to get into it and give it to you in my animated voice and do what I got to do. You know, I might drop that tomorrow. I might drop that end of the week. Might drop that next week. And for those of y'all, you know, my loyal people, gunshots to my loyal people. For those of y'all that's waiting on the Little Jimmy Part 3, I got a little free time. So I'm going to dig out the picture of the Chinese connection. I'm going to let you see a picture of me with 20 Chinese brothers in the penitentiary to let you know how gangsta I am. And I supplied them too. When I was into my bull crap in the prison, wouldn't do it now, did it then because I didn't know no better. Got Fisher, William Underwood tried to tell me to chill out. I didn't want to hear it. I just wanted to beat the administration by continuing to do what I thought I was bred to do, which was get that bag by any means necessary, illegal and all. So if y'all enjoyed that program yesterday, give me an emoji. Go to my Roku channel, check out my videos. Go to Spotify and all that, you know, and check out my podcast and download the video. Show brother some support. And the Cash App work, just make sure you go into it to see when it was created. My account was created in 2023. 2020, not 2023, not 2023, not 2023, 2020. The Waynesworth Hall $ Unique Mecca Audio that was Unique Mecca Hall that was created in 2020, that's me. I've been on here over 30 minutes. I just wanted to give y'all that, man, to let you know I love you. I respect you from one gangster to another. Because the gangster just knows how to follow the code and conduct. That's all. That don't mean breaking the law. And we all gangsters because we follow our code and conduct, whether it's, you know, when you're on the street, you know, or when you got a 9 to 5. Because that's what being gangster is. Being gangster is working and taking care of your family legally and not putting yourself in harm's way to wind up in anybody's penitentiary. That's being gangster. So don't think that it's confused. But, you know, you got gangsters in the hood. Like you got boys in the hood. You know? And you got gangsters in society. The gangsters in society is the ones that pay their bills, pay their this and do that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. I respect y'all. Please respect me and my channel and the way I perform my program, because I know it's different than what you're used to seeing on YouTube. And I apologize for being so gangster by busting my gun. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.